Supreme Court takes fresh decisions on state of emergency in Rivers State. The Supreme Court on Tuesday reserved judgment in a suit challenging the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State by President Bola Tinubu. According to Niger News, a 7-man panel of Supreme Court judges led by Justice Nyangokoro took the decision after parties in the suit made their final presentation. The date of ruling on the matter will be communicated to the parties involved by the Apex Court. Okay, we are waiting for that. Sonny Ibube says shares. Oyedemi says that is the level Nigeria judiciary has gone to. The judgment to be academic judgment. Chibuihe says, don't you think that judges will be judged too? Yusuf says, what is the business of Supreme Court about the Rivers State again? There was a pending case in court that they didn't rule before they told him to go on suspension. So I guess that's what they want to rule. Adi says, if the decision of the Supreme Court is against the emergency rule in Rivers State, in the expected reserved judgment, the implication is that all actions taken from the date it was declared till now becomes null and void. Sydney says our judicial system is useless, take it or leave it. I'm telling you, because why are you still waiting to communicate the day that you give the verdict to us? Why can't you just say it now? If you already have the answers to our question. Today, Emmanuel says fruitless effort. Chloe Zaka says to take permission on what to write in judgment. The judgment is now academic exercise only. That they have achieved their aim. Odinfe David says if you are not afraid of Nigeria judiciary, then you don't know what to fear. At CDB says Nigerian judiciary is the most corrupt in the whole world. Obiano says I think that will serve as a standard or norm so that such state of emergency will not repeat itself again anywhere within the country. Only if the Supreme Court will be upright in their ruling, of course. At Oparan Dodo says, after FG have built mansions for the public, who are there to rule against FG? At Ezekiel says, the Supreme Court of Nigeria, judgment delays, judgment denied. After 6 months of illegal emergency lapse in Rivers, yet they still reserve the judgment. Is this not to do as usual? Nigerians wait. You will see the house of lingering justice. The judges are currently searching for suitable grammar to use to subvert the justice. God is watching. August says, what's the need of the ruling after the governor has resumed his work? Nonsense. Among says, inconsequential, of what use again? The masses have laid the cutlass and yam for them. Let them do what they like, but there is an end to everything, definitely. Samson says, Nigeria judiciary is just demonstrating madness. It's a clear confirmation that Wike has pocketed this arm of government and are more or less a toothless bulldog. And he says, judiciary don't miss road. Adoke says, is it the right thing to make judgments at the convenience of the court or concerted effort should be made to judge matters as when necessary or useful? But what importance is the judgment on the already concluded emergency rule? Azaki says, which Supreme Court judgment when the emergency rule is over? It is medicine after death. Akisana says, which case with this one again? Amaka says, if the Supreme Court reverses its early decision, I guess the previous lawyers weren't good enough in presentation. Well, it's a well-settled fact that there is a new discovery. Evidence is a fire. The court could revisit its decision and make a finding into the final judgment. Okay? Let's watch and see because the Supreme Court is people's hope. When it comes to abuse of power and neglected rule of law, we are watching. Richard says the Nigerian Supreme Court should stamp its foot ground, if not for anything but to cover the country's shame amongst the international community. Let us prove that there are still a few honorable people in this country. By the way, where are we carrying this fleeting wealth to? Because certainly nowhere. Everything must end here. Abali says, let us be successful together, okay? As far as the Secret Court of Nigeria, Frederick says, are these people not conscious of the fact that the whole world is watching us and taking notes? Of course, I'm sure they will know. Alice says, for how many Nigerians who don't believe that we still have trusted judiciary, talk less of Supreme Court? To be hard though, to believe that we have trusted judiciary in this country. Yeah. Adeleke says, joke of judicial process. Emmanuel says, corrupt and compromised judiciary. To fear for now. Bekele says, Nigeria with funny judgment. After serving a 6-month statement, state emergency rule, which garnered which judgment are they passing again? Okay. Sophie says, I'm so ashamed right now of my beloved country, Nigeria. It is really. I think this is Supreme Investor of Nigeria. Then this is Supreme Court of Nigeria. I hail thee. As Nurse Joe says, useless and compromised judiciary or Supreme Court. Its action is like what our elders say. After the mouse must have escaped, you must strike at it. Honorable says, with this particular judgment, they will come in for you will not see the client of the day. Okay. At Credit FM says, Richard, Supreme Court judges will consult the appointer first. Charles says, Mumu people, we don't rest for that matter. They should allow the governor to focus. Jake Chateau says, this country can't be like comedy, not be small. Akin Kowik says, Nigeria and its criminal justice system, professor of practice, Daily Faretimi. At Moses Simon says, Oga, too much intellectual endowment, the worry. Or it's really criminal justice system. When it will favor Tinubu strangulated FG, Supreme Court give accelerated judgment, but when is the likes to be exhibited? Okay, but when is likely to go the way of Tinubu weak opponent? Supreme Court reserves judgment. What's the last hope of the common big man? Blessed says this country na really prank. After the expiration of the emergency rule, now the so-called highest court won't give judgment. Abina, she don't do anything they want. Obarabara says Supreme Court of Kasipu. Okay. Chris says the reserve judgment. Maybe one midnight. People have forgotten about the judgment. They will announce it. Very pathetic. Don't forget to like, to share, subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.